volume right down. This here is a 7-ply Birch speaker cabinet. Those are the type of cabinets that you get from Orange or Mesa or the big name brands, and they usually cost you $400, $500, $600, $700, $900 for a speaker cabinet. This cabinet cost me $75. There's actually a Celestion Vintage 30 inside the cabinet that I placed in there, and that Celestion Vintage 30 brand new cost me $0. Well, there's a story. How the heck is this possible? Here's my story. I wanted to get a speaker cabinet for this OR15, and I looked at the actual Orange brand of speaker cabinets, which are excellent. They're very expensive. So I was going to build one. In thinking I was going to build it, I ordered a Celestion Vintage 30 from Amazon. Right after I ordered it, I thought, you know, maybe I don't want this. So a day later, I thought I'm going to change it to a different speaker. So I looked for the button on Amazon where you could return it. Well, guess what? There was no return button. So I had to write to Amazon, hey, where's your return button for this here Celestion Vintage 30? Took them a day and they wrote back to me and said, it's going to cost us, Amazon, too much money to send a courier to pick that up and send it back to us. So for that reason, you just keep the speaker and do with it what you will. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So now I had a speaker. I thought I'm just going to build the cabinet and it'll cost me next to nothing, maybe a few $100. But then I went on Amazon again and I looked for just speaker cabinets. And guess what? If you take a look at speaker cabinets made by different brands, this is one of them, Seismic, and you'll see that sometimes they sell for $75, sometimes $100, sometimes $130, sometimes $150, $200. It's all over the map, but it's all the same cabinet. They come in black, they come in orange, it's all over the place. I saw one just before Christmas for $75, 7-ply Birch construction, so I ordered it. And here it is. And I'm pretty impressed with it. Sounds really good and it's really well constructed. And it's quite large compared to other cabinets. If you look at the cabinets behind me, you'll see there's a few other ones and all of them seem to be a little bit smaller. So there's a lot of birch wood in this here cabinet. So anyways, here's my video of receiving this cabinet, unboxing it, putting the Vintage 30 in it, and it's pretty cool. Check this out. So here is the speaker cabinet box that was just dropped off at my door. There's still some snow on it. Seismic audio. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Take the styrofoam off. Great color to go really nicely with my orange OR15 head. So let's just yank it out and see what it looks like. Nicely packaged in the box. Let's get rid of some of this. There's the front. Looks pretty decent. Take a look at the back. Pretty decent. It's an open back. You could put a piece of wood here and make it a closed back if you wish. And of course it smells really nice because it's all birch. You've got some hardware down here to screw in, I would assume, screw in your speaker. Wires for your speaker. Here's a much closer look at the speaker cabinet. You can see the edges have the nice metal protectors. Top handle, very nice. Very typical. You can see that the Tolex that's on here, you know, they're made pretty quick. I would think, look at this, it's coming off a little bit here. You might want to push that back in. Let's take a look at the back. Here we go, that's where you'd plug your amplifier in. And if you had another speaker, say you bought 2 of these, you could plug a cable in here to the other speaker and you could run 2 2x12s. Looks pretty good everywhere. An all around really decent speaker cabinet for the price. It would have cost me more money to build this myself than to buy it. So this is awesome. And the bottom, little feet. Now the front has these little tabs right here, 2 of them, and I assume that's so you can get this off. There we go, it's just Velcro. It's not very good because the Velcro actually comes off. It's just stapled on right here. So I'll have to restaple that on. Even this here piece here, that's birch as well. They could have made this out of some sort of cheap wood, but that's actually birch, which is pretty decent. All right, the next step is to put a speaker in here. So here's my Celestion Vintage 30, and this is the speaker I'm gonna stick inside because the Celestion Vintage 30 is what Orange uses in their cabs. It's one of the best speakers you can buy. So this is the 16 ohm version, and it should be perfect in a nice little birch cab like this. It's gonna be just like an Orange cab. Here we have the Celestion Vintage 30, beautiful speaker. And if you take a look around the edges, it's got a nice foam that runs along the edges. This foam is what is going to sit against the birch. So this is the hardware they gave me, and there we go. There's a total of 8 screws. You won't need all 8 because the Celestion Vintage 30 only requires 4 screws. Now, one problem I can see with this hardware already is if you take a look at the hole on the Vintage 30, it's quite large. If I use these screws that they gave me and try to put them in, well, the speaker's going to fall right out because the head of this screw is only so large and it actually fits right through the hole, which is not what you want. So what you need to do is put some washers. One other problem I noticed is the length of this nut is longer than the thickness of the birch. So if I screw it in to hold the speaker in place, even with a washer, it's going to stick out about this much out the front, and that's not going to look very good. So we have to use a thicker washer. So I have a thicker washer right here. These are these rubber plastic washers you can get. All right, all 4 screws are in. It's super tight. I can lift up the whole cabinet, just pulling on the speaker. Now we just have to connect the wires. All right, you have the 2 wires that come with the speaker cabinet. You have a red one for positive and a black one for negative. So if you look at the actual speaker, there's a plus sign here for positive and a negative sign there for negative. So it means the positive goes on this one. I'm just going to put it from this direction. We'll just click in, and the negative goes over here. There you are. Everything's connected. Just put the back on and we're all set. Here's the screen. Put that in place. That is so funny if they have these little things to pull it off, but I'll leave those on. There we go. That looks pretty decent. That is a sweet speaker for the price. I could keep going, but just want to end the video. Hope you enjoyed it. All sorts of great stuff with these here cabinets. Really a good deal for like 75 bucks. That's awesome. With the Vintage 30, it sounds awesome. T90 pickups going through everything. Sounds really good. Hope to see you in the next videos, and they'll just keep on playing us out. Here we go. See you in the next video.